Hello, Ned. You know what you've done, haven't you?
Friggin' hell.
Yeah, he's done something wrong. It's all right.
I'll fix it later when we need them.
No, fix them now because I can hear myself.
Are you leaving yours in? All right.
I'm going to leave mine in. It is the club call. I can hear myself. That's what it is. RC's gone in early saying who let the frog out. Hopefully tonight there'll be no frogs. Although I don't mind a frog. Now and again, just for comedy value. But if you are calling tonight, and mostly if you're in America, because it just seems to be America, try and be on Wi-Fi, because it's when you're on like your mobile, and you're not on Wi-Fi, that's when we get the frogs. Basically, I am joined by Ned, so comedy's guaranteed. Comedy is guaranteed with Ned here. Baz is not too well today. He's making sure that he can pass a fitness test tomorrow to make sure he's at the game. So, yeah. So, basically, you know the scores.
You know the scores.
You know the scores on the doors. Premier members, get on the phone, give us a call about anything. Anything.
Just make sure, please, when you join, leave your chat.
Yeah.
Leave your chat. Leave your name in the chat straight away.
Ned's going to have to do what I had to do last week, where he's going to have to run over there and set it up. So make sure if you join, you're patient. Give him a couple of minutes to set up the chat, and let's see. Let's see tonight who can do the frog. Who can do the frog chorus tonight? Celtic Vape says, Frog Vision, here we come. Ribbit, ribbit. Emma says, buckle up. Ned is in the house.
This is true.
There you go. It's been a very productive day. Me and Ned did a podcast before, and you won't have heard it yet, and it's tremendous. The 1878.
It'll be out straight after this.
Be out at half six. So make sure you are ready for that. Eugene says, Tottenham step up interest in Everton defender. Why have you written that like it's the headline to a dodgy clickbait Everton website?
Who do you think you are, the Everton News Daily?
Who is it? You talking about Ben Godfrey? Is that who you're talking about? Is that who the defender is? Because it can't be anyone else. It can't be Jared Brandwaite.
I think it's ours.
Spurs haven't got the money for Jared Brandwaite. They do not possess the finances.
They'll have to find it from somewhere, because at the moment they're playing Emerson Royale at centre half.
Emerson Royale, who is effectively just a cheeseburger from France.
He's probably having some better performances at centre half than he's had at right wing back, to be fair to him. But it's not
Ben Godfrey, linked with a move to Spurs. Good luck to him.
I think it fits in well. Yeah. I think it'd be all right.
What was that accent?
Ange Postecoglou.
Sorry, who?
Angie Postecoglou.
Sorry, who?
Angie Postecoglou.
Forget about the first name.
Postecoglou.
Postecoglou. It's going to be a good one, this. This is going to be...
I think it'd actually be good.
Listen, if they want to give us like 30 million for him, and you know, that's up, then I'd happily accept that. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. No problem whatsoever. So, yeah, obviously big game tomorrow against Newcastle. It's going to be a tough game because obviously they're a good side, but their away record isn't amazing. I must stress that their away record isn't amazing.
No.
So I think they've only won one away, taking 5 points. Last time they played away, they played Bournemouth and were beaten soundly. So let's hope it's the same tomorrow. Let's hope we've got our shooting boots on and we're ready to go. Yeah.
Listen, we're at a stage in the season now. December, players start getting suspensions, injuries. You know,
this is true.
Most of Newcastle's all but one Champions League group stage have been played, so they'll be tired. We already know they've got a few injuries out. They've dropped performance levels because of those. You know, we saw them. They were really poor at the likes of Bournemouth away, and Brighton. Albeit that was a while ago now, but they've got players out. They're vulnerable. They've lost a goalkeeper, so they're just learning to deal with these injuries in Champions League. You know, it's the first time for Eddie Howe to be December as far as the Champions League tournaments, and dealing with the struggles of trying to get back into that top 4. So they're vulnerable. So we need to get at them. We've got the advantage of having 39,000 Evertonians. Well, 37,000 Evertonians behind the team, and it'll be a good atmosphere. I've no doubt. So it's not something I'm too worried about. Certainly as much as
I'm not being funny. At 1 o'clock, you were literally bricking your pants.
No, it's just the anxiety is there just because I really don't want to lose against this one particular team. It's probably my least favourite team in the league. I'll be honest.
What you're saying is you hate Newcastle.
Yeah.
So Newcastle fans,
Newcastle.
if you're watching, if you want to give us a call and ask why Ned hates Newcastle,
I'll tell you.
You'll have to join Toffee TV Premier.
I'll tell you.
Benjamin James says, Ned, do you still hate the chant if you know your history?
No, I quite like it.
When did you reportedly say that you hated it?
I never did say.
Benjamin,
I think what he's referring to is I made the intro like a split, like just a flash, because that's how an intro should be.
Benjamin, what I took from that is he calling you a liar. Again, get on that if you want to give us a call. Back up your corner on why you aren't a liar. Then I would like to know. But Ned's just called you a liar. He's called you out.
White lion bar.
Publicly on YouTube. I mean, I'm very interested to know how you're going to come back on that.
Geordie Toon for life. That's not nice, Ned. It's not, but facts are facts.
Geordie Toon for life. I would advise you to immediately join Toffee TV Premier and give us a call and back up or find out why Ned has a hatred of Newcastle United.
I will tell you.
And the way I heard it was basically all Geordies, even like ones that weren't even born in Newcastle and they have family members from. No. That's what I took from it. So again, if you want to give us a call by joining Toffee TV
wouldn't say
Premier,
all the Geordies.
It felt like that. I mean, it felt almost like a hate crime.
Just like the Newcastle fans.
I mean, you would be hard pressed to find someone in Newcastle who wasn't a Newcastle fan. That's what makes them distinct.
The Newcastle fans that travel to Goodison every year and try and offer me out.
Or the ones that don't travel to Goodison every year, which is normally about. There's loads.
That's normally the case. But...
there you go. So let's. I mean, Ned basically is just trying to start beefs with everybody, and
you're tight with that milk, aren't you?
Tight with the milk.
Yeah, what the hell?
Tea's not even supposed to have milk in it.
I like a milky tea.
Do you know, in some places you get a slap in the face for putting milk in a cup of tea.
Well, if I like milk in my tea, what's it got to do with them? They want to start a fight over it.
You seem to have having a beef with anyone. If anyone out there doesn't think milk should go in tea, join Toffee TV Premier, give us a call and have it out with Ned.
Like I said before on one of the topics on the podcast, I've not got an issue with people liking things because I'm not the type of person to go, you shouldn't like that. We all have our own taste buds. But if you don't put milk in your tea, I will judge you.
Do you know what you could have done? Don't you? You could have made your own tea.
Yeah.
You could have done that, couldn't you?
The tea was a reward for my work hard.
And what I've done is, my reward is not putting enough milk in it, so you could go, I quite like tea without loads of milk in it. I mean, you're still drinking it, aren't you?
At the moment, I'm just blowing it because it's burned me mouth off.
Not the first time. Barry Pieces, I like Baz's Irish tea. I think he just means Barry's Irish tea in general. Barry's Irish tea is nice. Occasionally when we go to the Irish Centre, we will stock up on Irish chocolate's the best, by the way. Cadbury's Irish chocolate's different.
It is nice.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Is it nice, Ned?
I quite like it.
Did you quite like that when you stole 2 bars of it?
Especially when it belongs to someone else. It always tastes a bit
Do you
better.
quite like that? You're like Anthony Gordon, you.
No.
Fully Dan Juma.
Definitely not.
Is a revelation. Is a revelation. Would you like to see this revelation? So Steve Lamb has messaged in saying, it's mine. I mean, it should be really, it's Ned's, mum's and mine. 25th wedding anniversary tomorrow. And we received a gift from him that cost him a £5. I think that works out at 20 pence for every year I've been married. He's so generous. And I would guess, Steve, that was bought in a supermarket.
I'll just look for something silver.
Right.
I saw it. I thought, that's nice. The fact,
What was it,
perfect.
tin foil?
No, but I thought that will go exactly because it looked like a clock that's on alone on like a
right,
telephone table.
Can I ask you a question?
So the
number
price
one,
didn't matter.
Number one. If it's the anniversary tomorrow, why have you already given me?
I couldn't be asked like wrapping it up or anything because there's a responsibility of like looking after it. So
right, number two, where did you buy it?
Tesco.
And number three, what is it?
It's like this ornament like this, and it's got a tea light in it, and you can replace the tea lights. But the ornament,
so basically, they've got to pay for more tea lights.
They've got a clock,
yeah,
which is like the same thing, but it's a clock inside. So, and it was a loan, so I thought, I'll get that.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, this is perfect. So how much is it? Oh, it's only a £5.
Oh, yeah.
I would have bought it if it was 500 because it's perfect.
Yeah. So
it just happens to be a £5. Listen, times are hard.
Not for you. Not for you, they're not.
Yeah.
You drive around in a brand new concrete-coloured Golf.
Put me in some serious, less
so
money.
do you not think that...
Golf.
Hang on. Sorry. Can I just... Did you not think that maybe you could have added, like, some flowers to the mix?
Oh, well, it's not their anniversary, yeah. I don't know what they might get more. Not their anniversary, yeah. I'll probably go to Tesco tonight and get another something silver.
What? Silver spoon? Sugar?
For Baz's 25th.
Milk? Silver?
For Baz's 25th, I got him a silver voucher.
For how much?
20 quid. It's not my wife.
Baz got a bigger gift than your mum and dad did.
Hang on. How do they know? How do they know that I've not gotten them more yet?
Oh my God.
It's not their anniversary yet. I might have another present.
Oh my God.
I might have another 15 quid. In another card.
Oh my God.
My dad said, well, that's not a present for me, is it? I'll hold your horses. It's not your anniversary yet. Wait and see what happens.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
And now I'll have to go to Tesco again tonight.
Incredible.
In fact, I'm going to a Green Kingsport pub tonight.
Oh yeah. Was there any reason why you're going to a green?
To watch the football.
Oh yeah.
And to win the quiz.
Who's playing in the Green Kingsport pub place?
Sheffield and Liverpool.
Is that on live? Well, they're all on live, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all on tonight, surely. Amazon.
I
Green
can't believe, Steve, what an amazing setup that was, by the way. That is incredible. And we now know that Ned values Baz's relationship with his wife more than the relationship of his mother and father.
It's not their anniversary yet.
What? What accent was that?
You just wait. There might be another present, yeah.
Yeah, but was there another present, or is there going to have to be another?
There's going to be one now.
Oh my God!
That bloody bag of digestives that went missing out my drawer. That's a suitable present.
What? Hang on, sorry. What bag of digestives went missing out of?
I went to get a digestive yesterday.
A home.
Yeah. My digestives.
Yeah, your digestives.
And all that was in my drawer was an empty pack of digestives. I thought, hang on. I only opened these on Sunday and I took 4 out and put them in a bowl. Well, I went downstairs with the empty packet and I just went to my dad. I just went like that with the packet and he just went like that.
Sorry. Why do you put digestives in a bowl?
It's just because it's like tidier, isn't it? Just like because I make a bit of a
This
mess.
is incredible. We'll have to come back to this.
Do you know what I made yesterday for tea? My dad quite liked it.
Oh yeah.
I made chicken tenders, but I used cornflakes.
Jesus Christ.
To
where the cornflakes come from, by the way?
Corn.
Again,
And
4 hours
flakes.
ago. He didn't know that, which is mad, isn't it?
No, I just didn't have time to think about it.
Okay. RC said, have you been in the reduced aisle?
No, I just went into like a nice home section and there was something silver and I saw it. I went, that's perfect. And it just so happened to be 5 quid.
Barry pieces, are you cooking them dinner, Ned, or do you just get them fish and chips?
No, I always like last night, I'd done chicken, and nobody wanted to eat my chicken.
Yeah.
I do wings and stuff. They had those last week. I did drumsticks. They had those last week. I made them. But like last night, my dad doesn't realise that so he had a steak last night.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't let me cook it for him.
No.
But I'm like I'm by far the best like chef in the house. I'm really good at steak is my speciality. Like I use everything: pepper, salt, butter, base it with the remaining juices. It's perfect. But he was just happy to have it straight in the oven.
Okay. Straight in the oven?
Yeah, in the oven.
Is that how you cook steak?
No, it's not. But
James Garner says, "Do you label the draw, Ned's draw?"
No, because it's in my room, so should not have to.
It's just automatic.
Right, so someone's joined the chat, but they still haven't put the name in the chat.
Name in. Ned,
so I don't know how to.
Bob the Blue says, "When you're in a hole, lad, stop digging." Michael Keeney says, "I hope Ned donates his brain to science."
They'll probably freeze it just in case they ever need me.
Yeah.
See if the aliens come down or something, they need me.
Yeah. Fair play. David says Ned should cook some barbecue pork wings.
Nah, I like doing them with I want to try wings with cornflakes next week.
Pork wings with cornflakes.
I get them, and then I get I finger some butter.
Yeah.
And then I coat the chicken wing with the butter.
But what about pork wing?
No, just normal. And then what I do, I coat them in tablespoon of cooking oil, and then I get 2 tablespoons of garlic granules.
Yeah.
2 teaspoons of paprika, salt and pepper. That's all you need.
I think pigs will fly by the time you make pork wings.
Pork? Hey, hang on. Pigs don't have wings. Pigs don't have wings. What do you mean, pork wings? That's not a real thing. You can get bacon wings now, though. My mum made them the other week. Or bacon ribs, they were. Bacon ribs. That was it. Not wings, never mind. I thought you meant like barbecue sauce. Pork sauce.
Pork swords?
Pork sauce. I was so confused then. I was like, hang on. Bacon wings.
My God.
Pig wings.
I don't even want to talk about football. This is amazing. But we will. Dick L's in the comments and he says, "Dick L on a Wednesday?" What have you done, Dick?
Probably
to watch on a Wednesday.
Snuck off to a Green King Sports
Maybe gone
pub.
to a Green King Sports pub. Dick L says, "I was watching one of your old videos today. It was titled, 'This could take 3 years to get right.' You recorded it in 2018. Crazy how we were frustrated. It might take 3 years to get it right, and look at us now. To be fair, Baz hasn't aged."
He has. He's aged 3 years.
Sorry. Have I aged? Best shape of my last 10 years.
I remember when you came, you did an instant match reaction, right? And I hadn't seen you for a month.
Yeah.
Because you'd been out with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And you did an instant match reaction, and you looked like Palpatine. You was like, your eyes was like, you were like really white, and you was like, we'd just been beaten.
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
I'm glad you did, but I'm glad you said it was because of COVID.
Hell.
He said, "I haven't seen David on the channel for some time. Be interesting his opinion on the current situation." Yeah, Baz is the booker. Said this loads. We seen Dave at Wolves, didn't we? And he was like complaining that he wasn't on last season. I was like, that's Baz's fault. He's the fella who books the people. He said, and then Benjamin says, he said, this is on you. He said, "Ned said he was going to play the chant last week for the intro during the week instead of leaving it to Ped and Baz after the game. Therefore, I put it on him. He's either a liar or poor at his job or both."
No, we use it for certain. So I have an intro, and I spoke to Baz about this. Baz wanted to get rid of the intro completely because there's like an algorithm.
No.
And I said, let's just have like the Toffee TV logo, like a flash like that. I've also started, when I edit a video, I'll just put, "Anave, you're a 3 for 3 seconds, and that's it. Instead of the full 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But on this is set up so that something happens after a second. So we'd have to
You can start the music.
evolve everything.
You're just basically lying.
It's just not something
Just
that
lying.
I think we don't need 5 seconds.
We don't need 5 seconds, but you could still have
music at
that's
the
you
start.
could have 2 seconds of it.
I just think video should go like that straight in.
Well, I don't, because you need a cue. You need something to cue off. You need to be able to,
if you're doing it live,
as a presenter, you need something that you can go off. Otherwise, going from black to the screen is like,
I agree if you're doing it live, but
lots of people in the comments loving your pork wings. Yeah, Palpatine apparently. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, a bit of Palpatine action on the go there. Brian Garside says, we wonder if Baz has the courage to tune in and listen. I think we should be told. I wouldn't know if he has or not.
I haven't heard from him all day.
No, he just basically said he wasn't coming in because he was on dying.
It's all them Huels.
It is. It's a diet that's worse than yours recently.
My diet's all right.
It's not horrendous.
Emma, I did.
Benjamin says, just to take a minute to digest this, Ned was the fastest swimmer. Unbelievable.
I went swimming with Baz last week.
Sorry, you went swimming with Baz last week. Yeah. I don't want any more context. I'm just happy with that. If the person left the room, the caller.
I said leave name in chat and he just left. Oh, he's back.
Who is it?
Just joined back. I don't know. He's still not put his name in the chat.
Put your name in the chat if you call him, please, so that we can like queue you up.
Here we are. All right, I'm gonna go add him in.
He's left me
his name.
Emma says, who cleaned the sticky labels off the table then?
Me.
That fella would be able to sleep now. It was Ned. It was Ned. It is his job. I apologise for not doing my Dick L voice. Imperial Games says, yeah, I saw the stadium at night and it dominates the scenery. Beautiful. It is amazing. And there's a couple more bits going on it today. The West Stand is now finished in terms of terracing. And the seats have gone in the South Stand as well, which is just brilliant, isn't it? Just, I can't wait. Just get me in there. I can't wait. Who is it? Sharpie. I can't hear Sharpie, though.
He's not talking right now.
Sharpie,
Hello.
Go on, Sharpie.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on, mate.
Lovely stuff. How are you guys doing? You all right?
Yeah, we're all right. We're just having to deal with.
Just having a laugh, aren't you?
That's it, mate.
Right laugh.
We're just that. This is what Ned brings to the channel. He just brings
It's
humour.
He's a game changer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely a game changer. I mean, you can't have it all the time. It's like cake, isn't it? You can't have it all the time because you'll just get fat and be bloated by it. But now and again, just have it with your cup of tea, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
It's a pick me up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things. It's just Comedy Central.
Absolutely.
I think I'm quite professional, but
Oh, by the way, if you've got to check out the 1878, everyone, because Ned reveals something to us that we've never heard before. Ned reveals something really special about himself, and
sure I've told
no,
you before.
You've never told, and it's massive. It's but I'm not going to spoil it. You've got to go and watch the 1878 podcast or listen to it. There you go.
That's it. I'm tuning in.
Nice one.
Did you catch the Michael Owen interview this week with Simon Jordan?
I didn't. No, fill me in. It's basically because I absolutely hate both of them. But
I'm waiting until I need a good sleep.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it was all right actually. It was. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Simon Jordan either. Definitely not after that interview. But Owen was pretty honest, it seemed, with a lot of the talking points about his England career and his spat with Shearer and things like that. But a couple of things he mentioned I wanted to have a chat with you guys about. And it was, when he joined Man United.
Yeah, and nearly signed for Everton.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're going to have to remind me about how we were in the league at that time. We weren't exactly doing very well, were we, at that time?
No, we were all right. We were okay. It was Moyes, wasn't it? Moyes was still the manager, and we were all right. We were still like top.
We finished
six, top 7.
We finished 5th the summer he went to.
Yeah. And I think Moyes flew over to meet him in America.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did mention that. Yeah, I was just like thinking that, kind of like, why didn't he sort of join us? He was thinking that he was going to get much more grief by joining Everton than Man United. And I know this is a controversial topic because I was thinking, even if he did join us, it would have been, he would have got a lot of stick, but we weren't as much as a threat to Man United, right?
No, I think, so if anyone doesn't know this story, basically he was a free transfer. He had the choice of going to Everton. He had the choice of going to Manchester United. He obviously, when he was young, he was an Everton fan. His dad played for Everton, and he had the opportunity. And I think he thought coming to Everton might be a little bit a step too far. Whereas going to Man United was bad, but at least he would have the opportunity to win something, which I think he did win the league with them, if I'm right. But just by what I would say is, and this is like by sharing a building with a load of Liverpool fans, is I don't really think Liverpool fans care if someone plays for Liverpool and Everton, but I think they do care when it's like they've played for Manchester United or they end up at Man United, because I don't think there's anyone that they're really...
that's what I mean.
That's
kind of what I mean, mate. It's kind of he was thinking that Liverpool fans would have gotten his back if he'd have joined Everton, but like you say, they're not really that bothered.
No.
So I think he kind of got on that wrong in the sense that he thought that he would get more grief for joining Everton. It was a weird one. It was a good interview, but something else that he mentioned, which was he was talking about England and stuff, and he mentioned that Liverpudlians are not the most patriotic people in the world.
No.
And I wondered if you could explain why that is. I'm from down south, so I don't really get it. I'd love to know your view on why sort of Scousers are typically not really patriotic people.
Number one is because, well, there's lots of reasons. Well, I'm not patriotic at all because I have been we live in a city where we have been basically, and I know a lot of people will feel this way in different parts of the country, but we tend to wear our hearts on our sleeves. We are obviously a city that should be massively affected by things all the way, certainly me growing up. So like in the 80s, you had like Thatcher trying to basically destroy the city. And if you do any kind of like research into it, like she did literally want to just destroy the city. She wanted us to have like no money. And she was like, you could go back to Churchill. Like Churchill basically sent gunboats up the Mersey because the workers were on strike, and he sent the army in. Like I understand why people love Churchill, but I'm not a massive fan of Churchill. Again, if you look at your history, it's like he basically tried to destroy the city as well. You've got things like Hillsborough, which was a massive cover up by the government and by the police. We have obviously a lot of Irish people here. My father-in-law is Irish. You have so you have that separation between obviously people who grew up here in like the 70s and the 80s who are Irish and the things that happened to them, and obviously the crown and Britishness goes together, the monarchy goes together, and Irish people obviously there's not one factor, honestly. There's just not one factor. There's lots of little factors that just make us like, well, then you see like people go and support in England, and these are the same fans week in and week out are singing songs about Scousers, feed the Scousers. We heard that the other day. We've had, you look at the typical English fan and you just go, they don't represent me at all. And when I watch England, I don't honestly feel anything. Like even if you try, personally, I don't know what Ned feels on this, but personally for me, I watch England and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. There's no feeling. I have no feel.
Even in tournaments.
No, in tournaments, I wanted. Funny enough, this time last year, I was in New York and we were on a train coming, like a subway train going to our stop, and there was these lads opposite, and they were all drunk. But one of them was English, and he just went, "Oh, you're all right?" And I went, "Yeah, how are you?" Blah blah blah. We're just having a chat, and he went, "You've been watching the games?" And I went, "Yeah, I've been trying to watch all the games." Like, and he went, how do you think we'll get on? And I went, who's we? And he was like, England. I went, I'm not really bothered, mate. He went, well, who do you want to win the World Cup? And I went, Argentina. And he went, what? And I went, Messi, mate. I went, I don't care. I said, I want Messi to win the World Cup.
Wow.
a million
Okay.
times more than I want any English player to win the World Cup.
Would you say that you are quite an extreme case of this bed?
No, not
Is
really.
that not normal?
Really?
I'm normal.
What do
I've
you
never
reckon?
supported England.
I'm normal,
or in a
honestly. I know
tournament.
there's loads of people. I'm not like, I don't sit there going, oh, I'm Scouse, not English. I'm not like that. If people want to be like that, that's up to them. I'm not like that. But like when the Euros was on, I wanted Italy to beat England in the final.
Wow.
Because I've got Italian heritage. Honestly, I want Italy to win. Like if you went on my sister's Facebook, all her 2 kids are wearing Italy kits while the final was on. Genuinely, like that's just the way. And people, my God, that's a disgrace. I just don't feel like I feel it's again.
Italian.
No, I don't. Do you know what I feel, mate? Genuinely, I feel when it's the Olympics and it's Britain, I'm all over it. I'm 100% want the British team to win, right? Honestly, but I don't feel English. I don't like how English people are represented by a very small, probably minority of the country. But when it's Britain, when it's the Olympics, I'm all over it, mate. I'm all over it. I will back every single British person when it comes to the Olympics. But when it comes to actually England, I don't feel English. I feel British more than I feel English. I feel like I don't know, mate. I just feel like I love Wales. I love Scotland. They are wonderful places, and I feel like those kind of people represent me more as a Scouser than English people do. I look at our country, and genuinely, I just think it's a mess, and it's a minority set of people have made it the way it is. And I just can't get on board with like being, England. I seen like the England fans like at the last game, and they had flags with "Stop the Boats" on. That's people can have their own politics, but to me, that's not what represents me as a person who comes from a city that is full of immigrants and full of like Irish people or whatever. I look at like all that kind of stuff, and obviously people know I'm quite political, and I don't want to like bring that into it. But you know when you can't fake a feeling, can you? Do you know what I mean? Do you know like you can watch a footy game and go no, because everyone goes me favourite team in Italy is this, or my favourite team, I'm a Celtic fan or I'm a Rangers fan, and yet you watch the game and whatever the result is, if 1 second after that game finishes you're just like on to the next thing. You can't fake feelings. Where with Everton, you know what it's like. It stays with you all week, good or bad. England, honestly, funny enough, last night I switched BBC One on and I seen the England women were winning, and then Holland scored a couple of goals and it stopped England qualifying for the Olympics or Great Britain. And honestly, I was like, that's sad that. And then 5 seconds later, I was like, are Arsenal going to score here or what? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I just don't have the feelings. Like,
right.
But also, and this is another thing, right? I don't really follow any other sports either because I don't know how people watch multi-sports and can emotionally invest themselves. Everton is too draining.
Yeah.
You
don't have enough energy to support anything else, mate.
Like I see people at like 3:00 in the morning going, "Oh my God, the Chicago Bulls of Bears have lost in the NFL." I'm like, mate, how have you got any energy to watch American football and really care? So that's all it is, mate. It is a very much. I know there is a big north-south divide, and I'm not saying people from the north don't back England, because I know loads do. But to me, it's just not in there. I just don't.
Is this like specific to Liverpool or other cities up north? Do they have similar views?
Liverpool massively. I don't think people in Manchester massively care either. Right. I just don't think they do. I think
the north is huge though. Like there's places like Burnley, which
but they're small though. Like I don't know if most cities care about England, because it's like political, isn't it? It's like if you look at like where people vote for in this country. Again, I'm not going to be political, but the cities generally vote a different way to all the little towns and places, aren't they? Because cities have their eyes open to what's going on. They mingle with people and all that. And I think, and they have big football clubs in them as well. So the big football clubs take away, I think, people's enjoyment of watching international football. Don't get me wrong, I love the World Cup. I love the Euros. I love footy tournaments. I I love it. We will sit here like we did last year when the Euros comes, and we'll watch nearly every game. The World Cup last year, we covered nearly every single game live, and we had such a laugh. The final was brilliant, and we absolutely adored it. Wall-to-wall football was amazing. When England were on, do you want them to win? Yeah, you want them to win, because if it makes like the country feel happy, and it helps like the economy, and everyone's buzzing, great, I'm all for that. I wouldn't want to sit here going, I hope they lose as such, unless they play Italy.
Or Argentina.
Or Argentina. No, only when that was one particular thing. I was desperate for Messi to win the World Cup. I was just desperate for him to win it, and he did. And honestly, that to me was more fulfilling than England could ever.
You couldn't care less about Argentina now. We need to clarify that, because they're one of the arch rivals.
I mean, I care about. See, I don't get that either. They're an arch rival because we went to war with them over a piece of land that is basically, which is this. Like, I don't get that. Like, I get being rivals with Scotland, but like we're rivals with Germany because we went to war with them. That shouldn't be a reason to have a football rivalry, should they? Like, they're the things I don't get. Like, when
probably that combined with the Maradona handball of '86.
Yeah, but that was
as well.
But then the Argentina, the other Maradona goal was one of the greatest goals of all time, and I imagine some England fans will be like, I can never watch that. But I'm like, no, show me that all day. That's one of the greatest goals of all time.
Peter Shilton's fault.
It's Peter Shilton. So no, I mean, listen, I'm not going to say I represent everybody's views, but I just think that up here, people in Liverpool feel very, very hard done by for what's happened as a city, and I just think bit by bit that erodes
that kind of passion or love for the country.
And we've got two massive football clubs here as well, and that takes up a lot of our time. Let's be honest, like, it takes up most of my time.
Does this also happen like for other sports where the country's represented, or is it just like especially footy?
As I said, the Olympics, because it's GB, I'm all behind it, and I think most people are all behind it, especially if there's someone local.
But so it's a GB England thing. I guess it depends if you identify as British or as English, or that's a factor as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and cricket's not a real thing, is it? Let's be honest. Like, that's not a real. Anything that takes 5 days and can still be a draw, that's not real. That can't be real. And I don't really. I mean, there aren't many other sports that I actually really care. I'll be honest, I don't care about any other sports.
The Olympics one for me is like, you're watching people who come from like a working class background. They're normally quite like really young. They've worked so hard to get to a place, and it's just they don't get like paid loads of money for like a football. It's all about the passion and the hunger to do well. But for England, for me, it was just always. I grew up watching players I don't like.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And clubs I don't.
So I went to an England game.
Keeping players out from Everton. Then
I went to an England game at Old Trafford once, and it was the day before my mate's wedding. I was the best man, and I thought, I'll go to the England game, take him away to the England game, like, so he's can do something the day before, keep his mind off his wedding the next day. So I was like, I'll get tickets for the England game because it was an international weekend again. Clever, so you're getting married in an international weekend. And I took him, and Steven Gerrard scored twice for England, and I didn't move. I literally didn't move. I just sat there and was just like, it was Steven Gerrard. How on earth can I just couldn't move. But it wasn't even like I'm not going to move. It was like I didn't move. Like, it wouldn't move me if I seen it. Honestly, it was a natural reaction. I just didn't move. And I think maybe Jermaine Defoe scored, and I think I stood up and I clapped him because he'd scored a good goal. But Gerrard scored, and my instinct was, how on earth can you celebrate a goal scored by Steven Gerrard? So that's the other side of things as well.
When people like Henderson or Trent are in the team, I'm hoping they get beat.
I hope they get a broken leg. Never mind get beat.
I really don't care about them. I genuinely... Then this sounds like a joke, but I generally would have Everton rather win a penalty than England rather win a game. Easily. Maybe even
honestly, that's the top and bottom of it. And I know not everyone can understand that. I appreciate that. I understand that. You have to sort of be amongst us for a little bit to understand our psyche up here. We are very much behind the wall. We are like, we could definitely do without being in England. Like, if you cut us off and left us adrift, we'd be fine. There's like a saying that Liverpool looks out to the sea rather than looking into the land here. Like, and that's very much the way it is. It's been like that for years, to be honest.
Wow.
It's so. And
you got to be there to understand it, really, right? Live in that
Yeah.
area to really feel it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's to me all of it, all the rest of it's like just drama, like things like with the monarchy, and like I just look at it and just think, how on earth are people? Like when I see people, like when there's a royal baby being born and people are standing by outside the hospital, I look at that stuff, and I know loads of people probably do, but I'm just like, what on earth are you doing? But then they probably look at us and go, why are you clapping a millionaire putting a ball in a net?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you take so much joy off a millionaire putting the ball in a goal? So we're all a bit weird, like we're all a bit kooky, but yeah, that's it, mate. It's no like,
yeah. Is it sort of difficult for you to separate? It's just a football team and like the government part. It's difficult for you to actually separate that.
I can't. As I said, I can't do it, mate, and that's just me. And I understand that's weird. I get that. I do recognise that there are things in me that people will go, you're just you're stupid, and I get that. But there are things like honestly, things go through my mind, and honestly, I have no issue. But like, see, if England had won the World Cup, all I see genuinely in my head, and this is maybe where I'm just demented, I see loads of horrible people and horrible politicians taking credit for that. That's all I see in my head, and that's awful. I know that is really weird, and I know that's a really bad place to be in. But that's what I see. I see people. I see people jumping on that and going, and yet. It's like the thing with the flag where it said like the England fans saying stop the boats, and I'm like, I look at the team and go, nearly all of this team come from. If their parents didn't come from other countries, you wouldn't have an England team. It's mad. The whole thing is mad. They're the people who put me off, and then that's just unwound. But I do appreciate. I am a mentalist. I really get that.
Yeah. You seem pretty passionate about this one, mate. Does Baz have similar views? Do you know?
Not that he'd say on air. No, he doesn't. He doesn't care about England, but it's probably for very different reasons than me. But lots of people are probably more like Baz than are like me. Probably loads of people in Liverpool just go, I couldn't care less. It's full of Liverpool. What the other side of it is, we grew up with two things happening. Everton players playing for England and getting injured, or Everton players going to play for England and getting poached by players from other clubs. Like, so how can you get behind that? Every time you'd either have, like, I think Andy Inchcliffe went when he was in some great form in the 90s, got injured, he was out for months, and then you'd have people like John Stones and these kind of people, Wayne Rooney, and you're terrified that the minute they start mixing with players from other clubs, those players are going to start tapping them up. Do you know what I mean? And it happens. Of course it happened. You've seen the Beckham documentary, Zidane comes over to Beckham while Real Madrid are playing for England and against Manchester United, and says, so when are you going to come and sign for Real Madrid? Like, if you watch the Roma documentary, the Real Madrid players are all trying to make Totti sign for for Real Madrid. Like, this stuff does happen. So you can imagine, like, a good Everton player like Jared Brantway playing for England, and people going, oh, when are you signing for Man City, or when are you going to sign for Arsenal? So there's lots of years of that as well, where it's like, we know,
but that's going to happen anyway, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
England, you're going to get tapping up. Of
course it does, yeah. But that's that's just in the psyche, though, isn't it? That's just part of our psyche.
It annoys me more with England because it gets like really clicky, and we've seen it recently with like them.
What about you, Sharpie? Like, what are you like? Is there something you're passionate about, like?
No, not at all. No.
Yes, it's right, lad. Come on.
No. I mean, I don't want them to lose. To your extent, but no. I don't even watch the qualifiers anymore.
No.
I just watch England at the tournaments. And yeah, I sort of try to get into it, but I'm the same as you. I'm not like up at the TV screen, shaking the TV screen or anything like that.
I'm not, honestly. Let me just clarify, right? Let me just clarify. The Italy thing is one particular thing because, and Ned will know, I used to always wear all my Italy gear. He's seen me loads. I've got loads of Italy gear, and I used to wear it all the time. And the Messi thing was one particular thing where I just wanted Messi to win the World Cup, and he did. And honestly, every single person who Ned was the same, Baz was the same. When we did the World Cup live, we did a watch along. And we all wanted Messi to win the World Cup over anything, anything. And I really like I like France as well. Again, it's another odd thing, but I really like. Me and my wife go to Paris as often as we can, and we really have a good feeling for like France and Paris and stuff. In fact, when we went to Paris a couple of months ago, we went to the France shop, and my missus bought the France kit. Because she's Irish. My missus is Irish as far as she's concerned. She's got an Irish passport. She was born in Liverpool, but she's Irish. She doesn't see herself as English one tiny bit. But so that was one particular thing. I just wanted Messi to win, and I wanted Italy to win. But I actively don't want England, because I actually do like the England players mostly. I think they're all genuinely good people, apart from Jordan Henderson. They're all genuinely good people who've worked really hard. Even like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's a local lad, has worked really hard. I don't particularly like it. I don't dislike it, but you know what I mean. I think they're all good working class kids who, apart from the ones with double barrel names, even Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No, they've all worked really hard, and I have no problem with them. But I wouldn't want them, and I wouldn't want them to lose, because I know how good it is for the country and everything, as I said. But that Messi one, I honestly believe a lot of people in this country, even when England were in the tournament, still wanted Messi to win the World Cup over England. I genuinely believe. Yeah, I genuinely.
That's a big call. That
no,
one,
I do, mate, because I think lots of people in this country don't particularly care about England, who are real football fans, like proper, like go to the games. I honestly don't. I might be wrong. I might be massively wrong.
I think English is like a bandwagon thing, isn't it? In my opinion, I don't see how can you be more connected to like an international festival thing. Your football club is like, it's your local, isn't it? Generally. I just don't see how you can. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people are the same, just watching other teams' players that you don't like. Yeah. Listening to other fans sing.
No, but listen, we've got a tournament at the end of the year, and it's going to be great, isn't it? I can't wait for it. We'll be doing loads of watch-alongs and things, and I am excited about that. But you're absolutely right. When England are playing like Malta, and even the players couldn't be asked, could they? Like, what's the draw to see?
What have you got against Malta?
Nothing, but nothing. It's a lovely place, and and funny enough, I won't go.
I'd be more excited if they won it.
Malta to win, because it's a good place to go on holiday. Yeah,
I'll be honest. I've never been to Malta, but I was watching a documentary last week about Lockerbie, and it does seem to be a hotbed, or it did seem to be a hotbed for international terrorism. So we'll leave that there. But
I just like watching players from like other leagues. I don't watch.
But tournaments, I love tournaments though. I love tournaments.
It's a whole occasion as well. The tournaments, especially the World Cup, and it's about the fans, isn't it? They're all dressed up and partying and having a good time. I love that kind of thing. But of course I'll support England and hope they win. But I don't really get too much into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good man.
Nice one. Yeah, nice one. I don't know. Is anyone else waiting?
No, go on. If you've got another question, go on.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things.
Go on.
I want to get back to Everton, if that's all right.
Go on, mate.
Couple of things. Quite interested to get your opinion on this one, actually, about Pickford, right? So Pickford is still England's number one, right?
Yeah.
He is. Are you surprised he hasn't left?
To be honest, I am surprised that he hasn't left, but I just think he seems to be really happy, and he just seems to be happy being at a football club, which he gets to be the number one goalkeeper, which means he's the England number one goalkeeper, and clearly that's all he cares. But I mean, I suppose look at the Ramsdale situation. Look how quickly it can turn for you, though.
That's true.
The Ramsdale situation is, and again, maybe this is being afraid. Some players are afraid to be successful. But I tell you what, look at some of the players who've left us in the last few years, and not a lot of them can say it absolutely turned out the way they wanted to. Lukaku's a massive example of that, isn't he? He thought he was going to go away, and it was all going to be amazing for him. And the Ramsdale situation at Arsenal, I think, is quite telling as well.
The interesting thing about Pickford, though, is there's not even really any murmurings about him sort of making a move to a bigger club. It's kind of like England's number one, and with respect to us, Everton, we're not doing very well. We're not performing at all, really, and he's still here. It's kind of one of those untalked things. I think he's a good keeper, but really, really surprised that other offers or talk hasn't come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, he signed a new contract and, and he seems to be happy, doesn't he? So, what are your thoughts on it, Ned?
I just think we're a good club, decent enough size, and he's a good keeper. I think other clubs, like where else would he go? I think if you look at let's say the Big Six, for example, they've all got good keepers, and if they were to go and get a keeper, there's probably better world-class options out there. Look, United going after Onana, who he has made a lot of mistakes this season, but he is a good keeper.
Where would you rank him in the Premier League keepers this season? Where would you put him?
I don't want to go for every single keeper, but he's just a good keeper, isn't he? I don't think he's quite top six. He probably could be. I think if you broke in top six, we would need a better keeper. But I think there's better keepers.
I think Alisson's probably the best keeper in the Premier League. And then you've got Ederson. But Ederson looks really shaky recently, hasn't he?
I know, but there's still levels.
No, I'm just saying he looks so. Alisson's obviously the best one. Then you've got like Ederson.
I think you've got like Martinez, who's up there.
Martinez has got like a demeanour about him, hasn't he? Certainly since he won the World Cup, he's got like a demeanour about him.
Onana is a really good keeper. He's just making a lot of blunders at the moment. That's a confidence
I think it
thing.
might take time with him.
I think people who slag him
and then
off
you've got like you've got like a group underneath them, and Pickford's probably in that of like who are consistent, who do their job, quite steady, they don't have loads of mistakes, and I think he's in that group just under the real elite ones. I think so. Yeah, he's not. By the way, he's not like an absolute amazing goalkeeper. There are things where you go, maybe not that you look at him and go, not that maybe he should have saved it, but someone who is unbelievable.
Like one on one. A world-class keeper at a big club, you always back the keeper in a one-on-one, don't you?
And like the deflection against Brighton, I think the top class goalkeeper saves that.
They have the reactions.
The reactions a little bit quicker.
Surprise you, don't they?
But I think he's a really good, steady goalkeeper, and obviously for us, that's exactly what we need right now.
I mean, he would definitely be missed if he did. Leave. And you kind of got to gauge players on like, would we miss them? You could say like a lot of the players that have left us recently, we haven't missed none of them really.
Yeah, but that's because we're at the bottom of the table as well, aren't we? I think the caliber of goalkeeper we could replace Pickford with, with where we are at isn't great. He's probably like a top 8 keeper, isn't he, Pickford?
Yeah,
I'd say. But we're not in the top 8, so he's probably and that's for that reason he's probably our best player.
Yeah. No, he's pretty solid now.
He's out a lot of those mistakes, and that he was making early doors. He doesn't. I don't. What was it? I forget, but the Newcastle one, wasn't it? When he's letting his emotions get him years ago. He seems to have calmed that down. Maybe that when having a kid, maybe that sort of like calmed him down a bit.
I think there's definitely been something. Obviously, after the Derby thing, 2019. He was a mess, absolute mess, and he's rectified that. I don't know. Maybe he has probably spoken to someone about it, and he probably has a way of doing things now, and he calms himself down. Because what used to happen is he'd make maybe like a mistake, and he wouldn't shake it off. The next phase,
it would dwell on him, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And then the next phase of play, he'd make another mistake. Whereas now, he's not initially making those mistakes as such, but he's calming down a lot quicker. He's getting it out of his system. He's slowing the game down. And I think when people think he's time wasting, he's not. He's actually slowing the game down in his own head to calm himself down.
Right,
and I think that's what happened on Saturday against Forest. I think he was just calming down a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I like him. It's Yeah, he would definitely be one player that I wouldn't want to see leave Everton. I think he's good for our club. I reckon.
Absolutely.
For sure.
He's definitely matured anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. There was one more thing.
Go on, mate.
Right.
Go on.
Before I go, I've been meaning to chat with you guys for quite a while about this, and that is the enigma who is Abdoulaye Doucoure. Oh man, I tell you, that guy. I tell you, he. I just can't work him out. He's. I don't even know where to start. Really, he's so frustrating that he seems to when he's got the ball at his feet, he just seems to fall over the ball. He's tripping over it, or when he's got time on the ball, he doesn't know what to do. He kind of looks like a little bit of a lost boy when he's got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he seems to be a very reactive player. If you look at his goals, they're sort of very reactive, aren't they? With not a lot of time to think about it. But when you give him that second to think about things, he just seems to completely lose his composure, in my opinion. What's your view about him? You must have loads to say about this guy.
Go on, Ned. What are your thoughts on Doucoure?
I think people are harsh on Doucoure. They don't give him credit for the player he is. I think it comes down to a simple. Listen, he's not as bad on the ball as people make out. Definitely not. I think every player misplaces passes. Obviously, don't forget you're playing against other Premier League players. The job's to set the ball off you, so it's not something that should slander a player. I think his performances this season come down simply to not whether it's home or away. The teams, and it just so happens that more at home because that's the way it is. Teams come and sit in, and he's not fancy. He's not got the quality like you could pick a pass. He's not dynamic like, let's say, in a Wobie or a Sigurdsson, someone who can unlock a team when they sit in. He's better because he's big, he's physical, he's mobile. We can stretch a team and we have less of the ball, and that just happens that happens more away from home. So we've seen his better performances away from home, but there's no one else who can play in that position in our team, and I think that position number 10 suits him more. We've seen him play deeper for Everton, and he's fine there as well. I think he's a good player, Doucoure, and I think he's a player that if you took out the team, especially right now, I think
he must frustrate you though. He must frustrate you, right? Sometimes
I think all the players frustrate me. I think all the players frustrate me. To be honest, I think all of them can have performances like that. It's just game to game, isn't it? I still think he's not like he's totally inconsistent. He'll have shockers.
I just don't think there's anyone else who can play in that position, and that's where the manager wants that position. Someone who can play between the midfield and the forward line, and I don't think anyone else can play. If he has poor games, I think you have to take a step back and say, well, who else could play that role? And does that role work for the team? I think that role does work for the team, especially away from home. Can you be chopping and changing between it, home and away games? I'm not sure you can, unless maybe you push Doucoure on and tell him to be more of a forward, which I think he can. I just think he's inconsistent. Yeah. And when he's doing well, it's great. And when he's not doing so well, it's not so great. And I just think that's where we are at the moment until we buy better players. I often think about when I'm talking about Everton is like, when we're talking about players, it's like, do we have a better player at the club who can play in that position? And if we don't, then I try and stay away from the criticism of them. Right. That's sort of the way I justify it, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, what can we do?
It's all we've got. He's all exactly, we got, and we've got to make the most of him.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. Like that's the only way I can justify it. Is like saying, like, if someone's not playing well and we've got someone else to then maybe I'll go, oh yeah. But if we haven't, then what do? Do you know what I mean? So I think that there's definitely Doucoure's. What's mad is this is probably Doucoure's best run of form, but he does have lots of moments where you're like, well, what did he actually do? But
just the simple passes. And
absolutely.
And some of his decision making in the Forest game, some of the crosses, like who you passing to, what you doing. When he was on that right side a couple of times, I forget who was trying to pass, but he just passed it to nobody. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just, I think he's, like I say, I think composure might be the word that he's lacking in that, but he makes up for that in like athleticism, and he has got a goal in him. Just wish we'd see a bit more. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right, lads.
Nice one, mate.
That's enough of me. Nice one,
mate. Nice one. You've sparked a debate anyway. Nice one. See you later.
Indeed.
Ta-da,
all right, lads.
cheers,
All the best.
Yeah, loads of comments. Bob the Blue. There was no war in 1911, mate. Certainly no First World War. So, someone sending gunships up to Liverpool. Nah, that's not a good thing. And trust me, people do dislike England because of the political stuff. Trust me, I've been here for a very long time. Thatcher hated Liverpool, full stop. Not necessarily just Derek Hatton, the whole city, and she proved that on numerous occasions, including 1989. So try not rewriting history. I am well aware of all this stuff that's gone on. Thank you very much. But you can have your own opinions on it. That's fine. Just don't tell me my ones. Thank you very much. Yeah, give us a call. You can give us a call via clicking the link on Toffee TV Premier. Do that. Please do that. Emma said we fell apart after his straight red, Doucoure, last season. Without him in the team. His home form is frustrating, but you know he can pipe up with a goal. Yeah, absolutely. No one else could play that role, could he?
No, and like Sharpie was saying there, that his qualities is what make him a good player. And if he could ping a really good ball and he was dynamic and amazing with his feet as well, then he wouldn't be playing for Everton, would he? Because he would have everything, but you got to take the good with the bad, and I think he's a good player.
Bainey has said maybe Liverpool should join Wales. I say maybe Wales should join Liverpool. How about that? How about those apples?
How about Wales just be Wales and Liverpool just be Liverpool and England be England? I'm not from Liverpool, so no,
you're absolutely not.
So I'm just
Benjamin James says, totally agree with you, Pet. I was born in Paris, but I was brought up in Berkshire and felt more connected to France. I also found out later in life that I was half Algerian. Wow. I was like, boss, that's another team I'll support. France versus England, allez les Bleus. For me, Algeria versus England. Come on, Algeria. Loved it when we knocked those arrogant knobbers out the World Cup. That's it, innit? It's to do with...
England are arrogant. I feel like they have a God-given right.
And this is the thing. It's to do with what you are connected with. And I have more connection with other places than I do England. Like, I don't want to go into it because I might upset people, but I look at this country and and the values it seems to have, especially when it puts in number 10 Downing Street, and I just say they're not my values, and therefore I can't identify with this city. Now,
I don't owe this country
people might say, oh, you're a knobhead, blah, blah, blah. But that's just the way I feel. So, and I understand people mightn't feel the same way I feel. Benjamin also says the politics in France, 1998, brought everyone together. It was either ultra right-wing or a knobhead, or it ain't bad. But the ultra right-wing idiot who gonna get rid of Zidane because he was Algerian heritage, winning the World Cup dealt, of course. Absolutely, mate. That's it, isn't it? That's it. These people who carry stop the boat flags and all that, and yet half the team wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people coming to this country in any way, by the way, in any way. Oh, that's just my view. That's just my view. There you go. Wunderlust says Doucoure's up and down, but his ups are incredible and his downs are a bit frustrating, so I rate him fairly high. Yeah, fair play. I like him. I think he does good things for the team, and we've seen, as it's been mentioned, we've seen what the team is like without him. Dave Bobbler said Ned's out of control today.
No, I'm very much in control.
I do feel like he's in control today, actually. This is an in control Ned. And if you go and listen to the 1878 podcast after this, you will find what we're talking about. Barry P says, I bloody hate London. Do you know what? I like London. I actually like London. No, I do. I
like where I've been in London.
Where have you been in London?
I've been a couple of times when I was younger with my family.
Yeah.
I can't remember where we stayed, but obviously we done many times. Went to like the city centre, and then went to see all the
what you gonna say?
All the fancy stuff like that.
What fancy stuff?
That big palace thing, the tower thing, the London dungeons, Harrods, and then other stuff like that. But then I've been to like loads of went to Stamford Bridge, had a little tour there. Obviously been to a few stadiums in London, West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Yeah.
Watford's out of London, isn't it? Yeah.
What did you like about Harold's?
To be honest, nothing. It was all really expensive.
Yeah, it is. Harold's.
Is it Harrods or Harrods? No, Harrods is food, isn't it?
Harrods.
Yeah. Harrods is the food.
Harrods is the
Harrods,
food.
Harrods,
Harrods.
Harrods.
And Harold's
Harold's
is
I thought it was Harrods. Harrods. It's Harrods, not the food place. Some really expensive place in London. I've been loads of places in London. I wanted to go to Madame Tussauds, but my dad was like, "Nah, they're just wax."
So you went to Madame One Sword instead?
No, we went to London Dungeons.
Fair play.
It was like I crap myself, to be honest. But
fair play. Nothing says London like London Dungeons. I've been to London a few times with work and stuff doing this, and I've been to different
poker.
places and stuff. I have been to play poker in London, funny enough. And yeah, it's interesting.
Do you know what we haven't done?
Yeah,
gone to London together.
No, we haven't. We'll have to do that. Go and see a show.
Or we could go to like Thorpe Park for our next business meeting.
Thorpe Park for our business.
What have you thought of the numbers this month? They've been great. Ah!
Well, you go to you go and see the Back to the Future musical.
Really?
Yeah, we could. We're going back in time.
Don't sing it that well because we might get copyright. So go ahead and jump.
RC says shows your poker face.
This is my poker face. I don't know if this is any good.
Yeah. Paul Macker says no one talks to you in London. I don't want anyone to talk to me in London. What would you want them to say? I don't want anyone.
Great Scott.
Matty B says scream if you want to go louder.
That's old, that, Matty B.
That's old, that.
That's old, that.
Yeah.
That's not a funny
Can we have another
anymore.
caller, please, if you wouldn't mind? Just one other person to just give us a call. Just to...
call in and tell us your favourite Christmas song.
Oh, no, you're going to say your favourite crisp.
Favourite crisp?
Yeah. What's your favourite crisp?
Do you know what? I've just recently tried the... it's probably Pombear, because when I was a kid, I used to like pretending I was a dinosaur. But I've just recently tried...
Well, like the fella out of Step Brothers.
Yeah.
The dad.
I'm like...
Just grow up, you'll never be a dinosaur.
You're 17, get a job. I just like the... I've just recently tried the Dorito. Is it the Whopper burger flavoured?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I can't even
I had
describe
the
it.
Pizza Hut pepperoni ones.
The only way I can describe it is it's like a Whopper burger crisp.
They are amazing. Rob says I'm from Belfast and I've supported Everton in England since '76. The reason being I love seeing Bob Latchford score for both, and all my favourite players at the time played for England. Fair play to you, Rob. Fair play. You know what? That's a connection, mate. You've got a connection, and I fully understand that. If you've got no issues with that, mate, at all.
You associate England with like good times from your youth.
Good times. Peter Finn says, what did I think of Loki season 2? I loved it, mate. It was prime Marvel, and the ending is unbelievable and might change Marvel forever, and Ned hasn't even seen it.
I've not watched it
and
yet.
It's a disgrace because
I've
the
been
ending...
a bit let down by Marvel since
I'll let you down,
the
sunshine.
first couple of series after Endgame, and obviously the Spider-Man have been great.
It's been a bit.
But
Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
no, not yet.
Oh my god, it's on Disney Plus and it's good.
The Christmas special was good. Thor, the new Thor was terrible.
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
Ned's giving out guided tours of London. Glenn Watson says, Ned, do you prefer a Big Mac or a BK Whopper?
I don't eat neither. I like the bacon double XL from Burger King, but I've only ever had that on like an Everton away day.
There we go.
I've never gone to Burger King.
Never.
I
was going to say they don't have Burger
McDonald's,
Kings but they do have a Burger King in St Helens. It's on the drive-through on the
Linkway.
on the
It's not a drive-through.
Is it not a drive-through?
That's why I wouldn't
go.
go.
God. Tato crisps. I love Tato crisps, mate. They're the best.
Pickled Onion Monster Munch of the
Tato crisps from Ireland are amazing, mate. They'll make you want to be Irish. That and red lemonade. Barry's tea.
Speaking of Ireland, Eugene McGeever is watching from Northern Ireland. Where in Northern Ireland, mate?
Where have I just missed? What have I just missed? Oh, real easy says, I support Everton from Alaska. Now, Alaska is a place I want to go, mate. It is a place I want to go.
Alaska.
What's Alaska?
It's the place it's north of America.
But what is it, though?
It's just like a really snowy place.
But what is it?
Well, it's a place you can get like nice Alaskan salmon.
Yeah, but like, what is it? Where is it? Like, who owns it? What's it about?
Alaska.
Yeah.
It's like, so like, let's say like Canada's
Here comes
here,
the map.
Canada's there, and America's there. Alaska's here.
Above Canada.
No, here.
I don't understand where that is.
Like here. And they've got like bears and
We've got so hang on.
salmon.
So hang on. Let me do it this way. So if that's America, look, if that's America and that's Canada, where's Alaska?
On the border.
No, wait. Show me where it is. So that's America. That's Mexico.
Like
That's America.
No.
That's Canada.
Let's say America's there.
Yeah.
Like
No, there. America. Canada. Where's
It's
Alaska?
there. Oh, Canada's there, America's there. Is it like on the border here, on the northwest border?
No, it's America, Canada, Alaska is above Canada.
Oh,
But Alaska,
but north of North America.
no, but Alaska is America.
Yeah. I know it's in North America.
No, but it is America.
America.
It's an American state.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And who did they buy it off?
Donald Trump. The Bears. I don't know. Alaska. Did they buy it off of Canada?
No, they bought it for 7 million quid.
What? They could have just invaded it. In fact, that's a bit
So who do you
unethical.
think they bought it off for 7 million quid?
North America.
North America isn't.
Did they buy them off Alaska, like the government? Say, we're going to buy you. You want to be American?
No. They bought it off another country.
Oh, Greenland,
No,
Canada.
Greenland. Who owns Greenland?
Iceland,
No.
the Alps,
No. Right, Greenland is owned.
Antarctica.
No.
Oh,
Greenland is owned by Denmark, right? Okay.
Denmark are owned by.
No. So
Russia.
what country is 20 miles away from Alaska?
Russia.
Yes.
I was trying to tell this to my mate, and he was like, "What?
This is
They're
incredible.
on the other side of the map." And I was like,
They're
"Yeah,
not.
but do that with the map.
Do that with the map.
But you
Do
can't.
that.
But do that with the map. But you can't actually go that 20 miles. You have to go all the way around.
You can't.
You can swim it.
No, you can't swim it.
But
You
you're not
can't.
allowed- you
Come on, can
can't
I just
fly over that
stress?
bit, though.
Can I just stress? You can't swim it. Right? Have you not seen the last?
Yeah,
season?
you'll be.
Have you not seen
freezing.
the last season of Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Well, they show you what you do.
Oh yeah, because he was in Russia, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to say, listen to my mate Tom. Listen, Tom.
Yeah.
I
is
even told
incredible.
Ped this in
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I told Ped that
Yeah.
Alaska.
Sorry, what
and
did you?
Russia, the border of Russia, the
Yeah.
edge of Russia is like only a few miles.
So
away.
hang on.
And he was
So,
like, yeah,
hang on.
He's
So,
like, no.
hang on. Let me get this right. You're claiming you told me
Yeah, I
that
did.
Russia and America were 20
did.
miles apart.
I did. I told you when we were sat here, when I was there and you was here, and I was showing you where they are on the map.
So you honestly think that I learned that off you?
Yeah, you might have already known it, but I told you.
Please, someone call, because this is.
I'm telling you, that's what happened.
No.
But
Do you
I
want me
also
to?
tried
Do you want me to tell you how I found out how close they were?
through me?
No, it wasn't through you.
Oh,
So in the 90s, right, there was this program. So you've know, like, have you seen the the show, the one where you go around the world? Have you seen it? Where on BBC, where people have got to get to places. No, okay. So in the 90s, when the Channel Tunnel was built, they did this show where it was called The Great Race, and you had to get to London, from London to New York. Right? And I was like, well, how did they do this? And basically what they did was they went through the tunnel. They went all the way up to Russia. They went through Russia, and then they got to the Bering Straits. And then they crossed the Bering Straits, because when it used to get very, very cold, which I don't think it does anymore, you could get across that via this special like monster truck. You get to Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly. You get to Alaska, and then you can drive down. And then have you seen Hugh McGregor's Long Way Round?
No.
Well, that's similar, and they tried to do the same thing. But when they got to the Bering Straits, they did it on motorbikes, and when they got to the Bering Straits, they found that the ice wasn't thick enough, so they had to fly over. And then they got their bikes and drove all the way to New York. So it was similar. So
Wow, all the way to New York from Alaska.
well, all the way from New York from London.
Wow,
Think about it like that.
that's incredible.
This is the show where Ned learns stuff. So
I can't. Isn't that mad?
isn't that mad, Ned?
That just proves that the Earth isn't flat because you can go round in a circle.
You can.
Otherwise, you just fall off, wouldn't you?
The Matty Boo says, "Ped, do you get this time back? if we stay till the end, don't encourage him." This is amazing stuff. This is amazing stuff. I feel sorry for anyone who's not watching.
Matty Boosh, if you want to watch something serious, then go and watch something serious.
Michael says, "Pray Baz gets back soon." There you go. I'm asking for callers.
I know you are giving us the.
You're not giving us anything to talk about, so we're talking about random stuff. So, Glenn Watson says, "One more caller, please." Bainey says the frustrating thing about Dukes is he can thread a needle like he did to Ghana and then miss a simple 5-yard pass.
Do you remember his ball to Damari Gray in the 3-1 Burnley? He played the switch, but it was more of a switch. It was a great ball.
Roy says, "Ned, what is the capital of Alaska?"
Airlines.
Airlines.
I don't know. No idea.
Is it Anchorage?
Do you want me to find out?
Go on, you find
Capital
out.
of-
I'd love to go to Alaska to see them.
I was just thinking that.
What?
Juneau.
Is it Juneau?
Juneau.
What's Anchorage then? I'd love to go to it to see the Northern Lights.
There's been some great films filmed in Alaska, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Where was Gremlins filmed?
Gremlins is... Well, I'll tell you where Gremlins... Right, so Gremlins was filmed in California. Because do you want me to blow your mind?
It was the same set.
Same set as Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And I've been in that set.
Yeah.
I've been in that set. Ned's been in that set.
I know you told me once. In fact, I think I told you.
RC says, "What match are you watching tonight?" I'm not watching any matches tonight.
There'll be a match on whatever's on
Whatever in the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I win the quiz.
Yeah.
Review plays down tonight.
So if you didn't know, Ned goes to this pub every week and they win the quiz
all the time.
I don't know how, but every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, basically, the people who run the quiz take points off them.
Yeah, so we won it 3 times in a row again last week. So we deducted us 100 points, so we finished 5th.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Which is just... And I was like, show me in the rules where it says you get to... Because I was like, that's I said, these teams, it's their fault that we win because they're crap.
It's terrible. I mean, you either have some unbelievable... intelligent people in your team, or everyone else is it's a coma ward or something.
Someone's just joined.
Oh,
so I want to put
Jessie. Hello, she's in rainy Cornwall.
Cornwall,
very very isolated place. Cornwall. Have you ever been to Cornwall?
No, but I would like to go.
I've been to Land's End.
It looks like a cool place to live.
I've been to Land's End.
About Time, set in Cornwall.
About Time, is that set? Good film. Good film. About Time. Glenn Watson says, "Ned, what is the state flower of Alaska?" Dandelion, yeah, absolutely, yeah. He also Tommy says, "Ned, capital of Brazil." It's Brasilia, isn't it? It's Brasilia. Right, who have we got?
His name is Louis or Lewis.
Is it Louis or Lewis?
I made that mistake last week.
It's Louis.
It's Louis. Go on, Louis.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Well, I've got too much. I've got tons to talk about because you just kind of begged for a call.
I did. Mate, go on. It's just anything to get away from. Go on.
So,
what have you?
Well, I had a slight question for Ned. Really,
go on, mate.
So, is this a character that you play for the show, or
what is that supposed to mean?
No. I mean, sort of the way you portray yourself on the show.
What do you mean by the way? Professional and smart?
Hang on. Yeah. Hang on. I'm. One sec.
His mum's just called him for tea, and he calls you unprofessional.
I know. The way I portray myself on a YouTube live stream is
surely you wouldn't portray yourself as anything. Go on.
Professional and unbiased and smart.
Yeah.
And handsome.
Yeah, well, I know. Like I've done shows in the past, and I've sort of portrayed myself a bit differently as like a bit of a caricature of myself in the past. So
Yeah.
So I get it. So that's the only reason I asked. I wondered if it was
if I'm acting like in a theatre show, like when I played Mickey from Blood Brothers and I got a Distinction Star for that performance because I was really, really good, then yeah, I'll portray myself as someone else. But like today, I'm just, don't get me wrong, like this is me in a good mood, and I generally am in a good mood when I'm on a live stream. But like,
it was a game, so.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like I can be angry, but I'm not gonna come here and be angry, am I? I don't want to be upsetting people or scaring people even.
I hope I didn't offend you with that question. I was just curious.
I feel offended.
It's a good question, and I don't think you should feel offended. Maybe saying this personality cannot be real. It's so sharp and
he's almost like too smart.
Yeah,
and too.
It's
handsome.
It's basically like Gandalf has written a script for you, and you're acting out it.
I am every woman's dream.
So
okay,
we beat Forest, and I felt very frightened at the weekend because I called in last week and I thought, man, I'm in a really nervous position here because it felt like we just had to win that game.
Yeah.
And now we've won that game, and I guess things feel a bit better. But again, I don't think we've got the greatest fixtures in the next couple of weeks, at least.
I'll be honest. I think December is a good time to get some of these tougher fixtures though, because, like I was saying before, there's a lot of fixtures. Everyone's got 8 games in December, which is mad. Injury, suspensions. We always get some crazy results. And I won't lie, a few times I've gone into December worrying about fixtures, and we've come out. I remember the Carlo Ancelotti season. We had a few ropey results, but we went into it and we ended up getting 12 points out of the month. So I'm quite comfortable. Obviously, there's a big glaring factor that, I think we'd be pretty much feeling completely safe now from relegation if it weren't for the 10 points. And that's just the only factor. And there's no idea whether we'll get them back or not. That's why it's important to get them back quickly. But all we can assume is that we aren't, and we have to get as many points as possible. And don't get me wrong, I think we'll do fine this month. I fancy us tomorrow night. I fancy us against Chelsea. I don't fear Chelsea at all.
Well, Chelsea are very hit and miss at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And there's some other teams there which I think we can really upset.
The way to think about it is, though, the way I'm trying to think about it is that I look at where we should be in the table right now and think, right, if we had 17 points, we'd be really, really confident of no issues. I think we'd all be quite relaxed. And then the way I'm thinking about it is well, are we 3 games better than Luton, Bournemouth, Sheffield United and Burnley? And I do think, I know Bournemouth's slightly different, they've got more points, but I honestly do think we've got 3 or maybe 4 games for Luton. I think we'll win 3 or 4 games more than those 3 teams, and that. But I just think that, and I'm curious on what you think about this, Lou. Is like if the 10 points hadn't been taken off, how would you be feeling right now?
I'd be feeling brilliant, to be honest with you. I'd genuinely be feeling brilliant because the last 2 years, it's felt like I've been watching a disaster happen in slow motion.
Yeah.
And it's like you sat behind a glass wall and you're just watching this disaster happen and you just can't do anything about it. That's genuinely how it's felt for the last 2 years. And now that things are getting good again, it feels like it's happening again with this 10-point deduction. And now we're a better side and it feels like we don't deserve it.
No, it does feel like that's exactly. It just feels like we were getting away from it, but they needed something to bring us back to misery. So, and there's not we can do about that. And all we can do is play the ball where it lies right now, which is we're on 7 points, and maybe hope at some stage they give us back those points. But ultimately hope that if they give us some back, by the time they give us them back, that'll just put us 11th or 12th, and we're not needing those points because we're in a really bad position. I think what's comforting is we are We've won 17 points, which means that we're not an absolutely terrible team. We are a half decent team. We had a bad start to the season, and there are reasons behind that. We never got the right players in the time. We got off to a bad start against teams that we should have been picking up points. But certainly, we're not a terrible team. I think we're all aware of that now. And if we can continue not being a terrible team, we should be all right, even with a 10-point deduction.
I remember at the start of the season, I kept thinking to myself, I thought 10 wins, and was given the promoted sides, I thought 10 wins and we're probably safe here. But now it's kind of like, now it's looking like it's going to have to be more than that.
Well, it's 13 wins, isn't it? It's 13 wins and another draw, basically. So, instead of getting 10 wins and maybe 5 draws, it's now become 13 wins and a few draws. So that's a third of your games, isn't that? That's a third of your games need to be wins. I always think that. I always think the way I always think about it is to have a half decent season, not a successful season, not a great season. To have a half decent season, you need to be taking 4 points from every 3 games. And that'll get you in a decent spot, which would probably be mid-table. So we're going to have to do that now for the rest of the season. And I think that does allow you to lose a third of your games, doesn't it? But if your other two you're picking up a win and a draw, then you should be all right. If we can keep that momentum for the rest of the season. As I said, I look at us and just think it would be a travesty if this team went down based on something that has occurred over the last few years, and also that points deduction, what I just generally don't believe was honestly, I find it mental. I find it mental when I look at some of the stuff that's come out since about the people who were on the commission and what's happened in the past and what we actually did compared to what other people have done in the past. I just find it absolutely mental, and it makes me think that Everton have gone in there thinking we'll be all right, we'll be fine because we've been up front. And maybe if we'd had 115 charges, we would have just gone, no, see this fella here? He's our lawyer. Talk to him for the next 3 years, like Man City have. We've been far too nice. And I'm just hoping that we get some of those points back, because not only because we need them, but I just think we deserve them. The punishment.
Punished for cooperating.
I know.
Punished for cooperating.
It's mad. Honestly, and when I hear people, like, obviously on Twitter and stuff, I get a gazillion replies to everything I post about this, from Geordies, from Liverpudlians, to bots, to whoever else. And, they're calling us cheats and all this and all. And I'm just like, you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. You don't know the rules. Never mind telling us we're cheats. You don't even know the rules. It's just mad. You're 300 million in debt. It's like, mate, go and look at Man United and Chelsea and come back and tell me how much they're in debt or they've wasted. It's mad. It's mad. And
man, sometimes I think social media is like. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you there.
No, it's fine. Go on. No, go on.
I do sometimes think that social media is like a weird form of self-harm in a way, because I go on Twitter sometimes and I see posts being like, oh yeah, it's really good what's happened to Everton. Yeah, they're a bunch of cheats. And I'm like, oh my God, as if there's people that actually think that. And I think, well, I'm the one who's exposing myself to this stuff. So it's kind of like, it's my own fault.
I had this conversation with Ned before, because he was talking about social media, because we did a show earlier on when we were on, obviously earlier on Premier, and he was a bit like, oh, I'm down about this game. Right. Social media, I think, is dead easy.
Listen to that.
I think it's dead easy, right? For everybody. If you're on social media and you're feeling annoyed or you're feeling down about things you see, go into your stuff, your notifications, and get rid of everybody that doesn't follow you. Or you don't follow them, sorry. So that you don't see the replies. Anyone who hasn't got a phone number, you don't see the replies. Anyone who hasn't got a photo, you don't see the replies. Mute words, honestly. I've muted every word to do with Liverpool, to do with I'm a celebrity, cricket, all kinds. Honestly, it makes your world a better place. You go on there and you only see what you want to see. And the world is a better place for it. There are tools out there, because I understand social media. It can grind you down. People get all kinds of replies. Or sometimes I'll write something and I know it'll be a little bit controversial, so I just mute the notifications. From that. So yesterday I put a post up. I don't know if people seen this. I don't know if you've seen it, Lou. That Everton were bringing out a scarf which said the Ev on it.
Oh, I
Right?
saw that. It looks horrendous. I saw the replies to that as well because I do look at Twitter a lot, and I saw the replies. And I'm like, well, it looks horrible. Surely you should complain about this stuff,
But most
because you want people to buy it.
Most people were like, on the feed were quote tweeting and going, "What is this?" But I had 3 or 4 tweets going, "How dare you? You moan about everything. This is for charity." And I was like, I didn't reply to them because I wasn't giving them any option, but I was thinking to myself, yes, it is for charity. And I would have bought it if it didn't say the Ev on it. Oh my God. Why would you
That's
put
exactly,
why would you put
exactly my thought?
You might as well put a t-shirt with Pickford having T-Rex arms on it. Honestly, it's like it's a word used by Reds, Newcastle fans and Manx. No Evertonian calls themselves the Ev. And yet someone thought it was a good idea to put it on a scarf. And so, yeah, stuff like that drives me mad. And yet people go, you'll complain about anything. I'm like, yeah, I will complain about stuff like that because it's shite. There you go.
Yeah, if the fact that it's for charity, it means you should kind of put it under more scrutiny because you want people to buy it. That's the kind of stuff that you want people to buy. And I would have bought it as well because, I like the idea of giving money away to charity, especially if I'm getting Everton Club as a result of it.
Yeah, but I'll buy something else for charity, or I'll do something. I bloody jumped off a mountain for Everton in the community. I've got no problem with doing stuff, but I'm not buying a scarf with the Ev on. I don't care. I don't care what charity it is. I'm just not. But honestly, if you're on social media, go into your notifications and your mute buttons and all that, and it'll make your life a million times better. Like, honestly.
Well, I mean, I know those tools exist. The problem is because of what I do and some like the other stuff that I do, it's not something I can really do. I've kind of got to expose myself to that as like part of what I do. So it's like,
no, I'm a bit like that. But I'm
unnecessary evil.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that in a way as well, because obviously more people follow me than I follow other people. So I don't mute my replies. What?
Clang.
I don't mute my replies because a lot of people are always might be replying to me and stuff. So, but certainly the bots, because I have personal bots. Clang. I have personal bots, and a lot of people, I imagine, who say anything about anything will have personal bots. And because I've checked, I've seen them replies, and all they do is they're just replying to me. Nobody else, just me. And they're trying to cause murder and they're trying to stir stuff up. And the only way you can get rid of them is if by the phone number one or the picture one. But honestly, it's if you can check your stuff, honestly, it makes life a lot easier for you. So
I enjoy responding to them sometimes. The bots and stuff like that. In fact, there was a period where I think it was like the Snapchat AI bot where I tried my best to make it think I was some kind of mad conspiracy theorist.
Well, the worst ones were when all the protests were going on in January, and I was getting loads of them. I was like, who's paying for these bots? Like, who's paying to have a go at me for basically, the thing that was going on at the football club? So, but it was all and it was a lot. Like, I was getting loads every single day because I was obviously being critical of the way the football club was being run, which again, I have when people go, oh, you moan, I'm going like, no, I don't moan. I'm just want my club to be fucking the best it can be, like we all do. And you moan. It's like, no, mate, I just have standards. That's all it is. But the bots are horrible. They are. But you've got to know the bots, because my missus is the Everton ambassador for her game too. And she was seeing all this stuff, and she didn't realise that. Like, she thought bots were like literally like people going like, you are a bad person. Like, she didn't realise it was someone actually being paid to sit behind the keyboard and give you grief. And I had to like educate her on these bots, and now she understands, because she was like, I was getting grief all day off this person because I'd said something for her game too. And I was like, no, you've got to understand, bots are real people who are paid to sit behind the desk and cause trouble. So she's a lot more educated on that now as well. It's a minefield, an absolute minefield.
Well, I feel like I should leave because I kind of want this other fella who's joined to get away.
Is someone else joined?
Yeah.
I
think there's someone else here. So
nice one, Lou. Nice one, very much.
Right,
thanks for me.
Hope to see you at the game tomorrow, lad. Have a good one. See you
later.
All
right, mate. See you later. Right, who've we got?
Right, he's not put his name in the chat, but it kind of looks like Jay, but I can't see properly.
Hurry up and get him on, and then we're finishing. I've got to go and see me mum and dad.
Put your name in the chat, please, mate, so we know exactly who you are.
Quick or we're going. Why? What? Well, we got him. Right, he's got 10 seconds to put his name in, or we're dropping him. He's left. All right, there you go. Ned, sit down so I can finish up because I want to go. And also the Reds are in the other room and they're starting to make noise, and I don't appreciate it. So,
I couldn't tell who it was because it was all blurry.
There you go. Riggett says who's the fastest swimmer, Baz or Ned? But he's put the red-haired lad.
No, it's probably me, but only because I'm in peak fitness.
Yeah, you are in peak fitness. Right, there you go. We're going to go. Thank you to all for watching us. It has been a crazy show. If you want to find out about Ned's secret thing that I didn't know about, go and watch the 1878 podcast or listen to it. It's an hour. It's a cracker, honestly. We have a good laugh. And Ned reveals something to me that I didn't know about. That he's 4 years he's been here. Is it 4 years?
4 years in January.
4 years in January, and he's only just revealed this thing to me. And I didn't know anything about it. And Dave Vitti was gobsmacked by it. So you've got to go and check that out. It's a great show, honestly.
Dave Vitti was actually impressed.
He was impressed. Dave Vitti was impressed. And he doesn't impress easily. Right, there you go. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll see you over on Toffee TV Premier. That is. See you later.